You're listening to This Week in America with Rick Bratton.
Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. Back with us on the program, Jerry Springberg. He had a successful career as an insurance and financial planner, earning him a multi-million-dollar living, elite status in the million-dollar round table. He developed a proprietary method of selling, and he's the author of the book we'll be talking about on the show today, Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. Jerry, welcome back to This Week in America. Great to have you back with us.
Thank you, Rick. It's good to be back.
The book is really a blueprint for success, a blueprint of how you led your life. Again, the book is called Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. And it's an interesting story because you had a number of obstacles along the way. This isn't a story where everything went my way and life just sort of fell into place and I took advantage of it. Let's go back and talk about some of those early days. What a family of immigrants growing up during the Depression period, World War II. Talk about the childhood.
Oh, my gosh. Sure I can. Well, the thing is, success in life doesn't come easy, both in business and family. But through hard work, staying focused on my goals, and learning to balance this with my marriage, raising children, maintaining physical health, I am living proof of the American dream. From the humblest beginnings, as a Depression-era child of Ukrainian immigrants who escaped the pogroms at the turn of 20th century, to achieving the highest recognition of the insurance industry, life threw its share of curveballs to me, for sure.
Well, it's interesting, and in the book is called Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. Jerry Springberg, our guest on This Week in America. Information at our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and you can log on directly to Jerry's website, manysuccessesinlife.com. Let's talk about that. You mentioned how important hard work is, and you talk about a couple of times in your life when you hit some obstacles. One, you're 16 years old, and your dad says, you really don't know what hard work is like in your life. What kind of impact did that have on your life when Dad says, you really don't know what hard work is, do you?
Oh my gosh, I almost fainted.
Yeah.
He taught me a good lesson. But the thing is, let me start when we started in Lake Havasu City in 1973. First of all, I do want to mention to you, while you're working, your expenses have to be as low as possible as long as you're comfortable. That's very important. My first house that I bought in 1974 was all of 1,367 square feet. Wow. It had a small kitchen, a living room, and it had 3 bedrooms. So I had my 3 sons, the oldest in his bedroom, and the other 2 sons in another bedroom, and me and my wife in the quote, the master bedroom, which was not too large.
Well, and you said...
we stayed in there until I had reached very high income, you know? I saved a lot of money during those years that I was in that small house, but I knew that I had to have money for tuition for the 3 boys. I could not go through life without my 3 sons going to university. And so I saved a lot of money during those 3 years, being in a small house and having very small expenses. And I knew that when they reached the age of 16, I got them a job, and they had to learn how to work for money. I also knew that I could afford to buy them a car, but when they turned 16 years old, I specially asked them for 50% of the cost of the vehicle, and they paid for the gas, and I paid for the insurance.
You know, how important is that? Because I know part of your lesson is not only telling people some of the keys that you were able to use to be successful, but also motivating children, because so often if mom and dad are doing okay, that sort of children are doing okay too. They're not asked to make too many sacrifices. They have just about everything they want. How important is it to get children, especially in this case, you could have bought the car for them, but you asked them to contribute. How important is that to give them that feeling of self-worth and drive?
Well, they saw that by they working, they could have a car. Even if they had to pay half of it, mom and dad paid half, but they had to pay for the gas. And let me tell you, my children are doing the same thing with my grandchildren. I have 7 grandchildren now, and let me tell you, my children are following up with that. But you know what really got them going besides working at the age of 16? I used to go out to work after dinner, sometimes in the evening, and I'd say, I'll see you boys when I get back, but you'll be sleeping. Don't worry about me coming back. But I have to make a living, and that's what I told them. And they got a good lesson out of that. Now, when we arrived in 1973 in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, there were only 7,000 people there. And I did want to spend time with my family, and very frankly, my wife took care of the bills, and I wasn't working too hard. I was spending a lot of time with my family, traveling all over the Four Corners, California, Oklahoma, different places we used to go. But the facts of the matter is, my wife told me in 1978, I walked into the kitchen, and she was about in tears. She said to me, Jerry, I don't have any money to buy the children's school to start school. You don't have any idea what that did to me. McCulloch, who had a chainsaw factory, had laid off half of the employees because they were getting competition. And they had to lay off half of the employees. I couldn't tell you how many U-Hauls were leaving town. Half of the town left Lake Havasu at that time. But I talked to her, and I said to her, do you want to leave and go back, or do you want to stay with me? She said she would stay with me. Oh, you don't know how that helped me, Rick. I told her she'd never have to worry about money again. Well, at any rate, I developed a program that would help me achieve my goals. I really recognized that I'd have to have a program to follow to see that I was improving every month, every year of my career. As a matter of fact, I lived there 30 years, and we averaged an increase of 18% per year during those during the 30 years. Actually, I started after I was there, from 73 to, so for 25 years, I averaged 18% per year. I hit the top of life insurance, 0.5% of all the life insurance sales in the world, 0.5% in the world. When I started to make more money that I needed to, instead of spending it, I saved 20 to 30% of my money. We didn't spend any more. And believe me, that's what really helped me save more and more money. People asked me to get into real estate at the time, so I was in three commercial buildings at that time, and when I left after I retired at 70 years old, which was how long ago? 11 years ago. We sold the buildings and the house at top of the market, and that was a lot of how money I made. But the real money that I made was having a real program so that I could look back at my success and say, hey, I'm improving every year of my success, and I'm getting to be more and more successful as I go along.
And all of this is in Jerry's book called Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. Jerry Springberg, our guest on This Week in America. His website is manysuccessesinlife.com. Go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on directly. In talking about that, you've mentioned that a couple of times, the power of saving. And you talked about the importance of having that rainy day fund. And that came into play when your wife developed Parkinson's disease, when you had money that you were actually able to spend to take care of her during that period.
Yeah, my poor wife got Parkinson's. And when we came to Las Vegas, after I retired, I hired people who would watch her from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Now, I did that for a particular reason. I have seen people, when I went to the movies, when I went to a show, pushing their mate in a wheelchair with a terrible look on their face. I said to myself, you need to have a rainy day fund, because you have to do something in life that keeps you happy. You can't stay, and well, it was terrible to watch my wife diminish like she was. It was terrible. But by keeping that small house at the beginning from 1974 to 1990, I saved an awful lot of money from working and spending as little as we could. My wife was just so good to help me at the time, and it was just a wonderful thing. Now, the thing about saving for a rainy day, I'm a multimillionaire. I have 29 rentals right now, all rented. Besides having money besides that, I have a way of saving money now. Most of you have heard of the 99-cent store.
Oh, yes.
I go to the 99-cent store quite often. Now, you might say, why does a millionaire have to go to a 99-cent store? Okay? But I'm used to saving money. And you could go there, you could buy raisins, you could buy lipstick, you could buy anything you want. They have 1,000 different items. You could buy eggs for $1.60. I mean, you could buy a loaf of bread for $1.
Wow.
And so I do that. And it saves me money, and that's what I'm all about. If a person can save his money now while he is working, he can become a millionaire or a multi-millionaire. There is no doubt in my mind.
The book is called Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. Jerry Springberg, our guest on the program. His website is manysuccessesinlife.com. You talk about success in business, you talk about success in finance, but you also, a main part of your happiness in life now is love of family. Talk about how important that is, because sometimes you feel like, well, I'm going to have to sacrifice that a little bit to achieve business success. You've been able to juggle everything, and very proud of the family, the 3 sons that are all professionals. Talk about the power of family.
My 3 sons, after my wife passed away, my 3 sons called me every day. We're in touch all the time now. Larry, who's an attorney here in Las Vegas, he specializes in medical malpractice and personal injury. He and I have lunch just about every week, and that's very important to us. Brian is so important to the business. When he took over the business, he actually paid me for the business. I couldn't believe it. It got into 7 figures, by the way. It was, I don't know, I have the 3 most wonderful sons in the world. And David, who lives in California, Fort, what's that fort? Well, I'll think about it. Fort Collins, Colorado.
Oh, okay, certainly, yes.
He has been after by different computer companies. He has been taken away from two different computer companies, and now he's working for Micron Engineering, a multi-billion-dollar company. And you know what his manager said to him recently? David, you're working too hard. We're going to have to get an assistant for you. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing, and you're rightfully proud of all three of your sons. The book is called, and this is interesting, Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. Optimist, literally an optimist in terms of the Service Club, elected president, and you feel that what you learned, your lifestyle as an optimist, a Service Club optimist, really helped you in business as well as in your family life.
As a matter of fact, when I go to Lake Havasu City, I visit with the Sunrise Rotary Club, which I have been with, I guess now for 20 years. I've donated $6,500 to the trust fund that they have just in the last 2 years. And I always tell the members there, if you don't want your wife to be a widow, you have to exercise. You have to start exercising while you're young. I started exercising while I was 18 years old. I'm exercising even today. I exercised this morning for an hour and a half. You have to exercise, and also you have to eat right. And when you're and my book owners, frankly, they get information on good eating and the right way of exercising. I tell everybody that. That's very important. I as a matter of fact, I'm 81 years old now. I feel like I'm 61 years old. I really do. I'm in better shape than I was 20 years ago. I have muscles now that I never had before.
Yeah, sometimes you got to wait. I guess you're 80 until you get those muscles. You sound great. You'll look great. If you go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, there's a YouTube channel icon there, and you can go directly to our YouTube channel and look at the interview that we're doing with Jerry Springberg. Just a minute or so left on the program. The book is a real blueprint to success. I know a number of people buy it, share it with family and friends because it's sort of a real man's journey. It's a blueprint for success. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the article, the beginning of the interview, this is not something that you inherited the money and just sort of spent it wisely over your life. You have so much real-world experience there that it really made a big impact, didn't it? And how you went about earning the money, saving the money, and spending it wisely.
Exactly. And it should have given you an idea how much I am. Well, my mother taught me to be frugal, very frankly. My father taught me to work hard. So when I go to the when I go to the 99-cent store, I'm not dressed up in a tuxedo. I'm dressed up in plain clothes. That's how it is.
Well, exercise in 99-cent stores, part of the key to success you'll find in the book. It's an excellent read, a lot of great practical advice. Getting to the Top, An Optimist's Keys to Success in Business, Family, and Life. Our guest on the program has been Jerry Springberg. The website is manysuccessesinlife.com. And, of course, go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us. You can not only see the interview on YouTube, the video version, but you can also click on directly to Jerry's website and get information on the book as well. Jerry, always a pleasure to have you with us on the program. Thank you so much for joining us. Really enjoyed the book and look forward to having you back with us. Take care. Thank you for being with us.
Rick, it's been a pleasure to be with you.
You're listening to This Week in America, our website, thisweekinamerica.us.